Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is all about the Becca Chrissy Teigen collaboration Glow Face Palette. I picked this up at Sephora over the weekend and it is a lovely palette consisting of two highlighters, a blush, and a bronzer. This one highlighter up here is the rose gold highlighter, which already exists in the Becca line, and these three are the new and unique items to this particular palette. So I thought I would give this a whirl this morning and figured why don't I turn on the camera and do like a first impressions for you guys. This is the look that I ended up with, and I have to say I am pleasantly surprised at how much I really enjoy this palette. So if you're interested in watching my first impressions and hearing my thoughts, then just keep on watching. So I have no idea how these colors are going to look on my particular skin tone. I'm assuming, I think like everyone else, I'm assuming that these colors were sort of developed around Chrissy's skin tone, and she has a much warmer, deeper complexion than I do. So we'll see. We shall see. So I went ahead and I applied foundation, concealer powder, I did my brows, and I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right in and apply these things as I normally would during my routine. So I'm gonna start with the bronzer here, and I'm gonna take my bronzer brush, which is a little bit dirty. I've cleaned it off, but I haven't done a good washing. Anyway, I'm gonna dip that into the bronzer. I wish, I'm just gonna say this right now, I wish all four pans were the size of these highlighter pans, and I think they could have done that if they just spaced it out a little bit more. You know, I don't know why the bronzer color would be smaller than the highlights. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and tap off any excess and apply that to where I normally would. So I'm using a fairly light hand with this, and it's giving me plenty of pigment, as you can probably see. But I like the color, I have to say. I don't think it is too warm in any way. I think this is actually, it's on the warmer side for sure, but it's not orangey, at least not on my skin tone in the least bit, which is nice. Okay. I am pretty happy with that. Let me go ahead and use the blush. I'm gonna grab my blush brush and just dab it into the pan here. I have some of the single Becca blushes, the mineral blushes that they have, and they are incredibly pigmented. So I'm gonna be careful with this and tap off any excess and just sweep that across my cheek. Okay, I think I was a little too careful. Let me go back into the pan, grab some more product. This is a very pretty blush. I think you can see it actually on the camera. It has like a really nice glowy sheen to it, which is really pretty. And this is a really pretty sort of flush color, which I like. So this blush for sure is not quite as pigmented as their single pan blushes, at least from my experience. Those I really had to be careful with. I felt like I turned into Bozo the Clown pretty quickly. I really like this blush color, I have to say. It is a really nice sort of mix between peach and pink. It's not too peach, it's not too pink. It's definitely a little bit on the warmer side. It's very, very pretty. Let me even this out. I think this side is a little bit darker. Well, so far I'm really liking this. I'm actually surprised at how much I like this. I think I like these colors a little bit more than what was in the Jaclyn Hill palette, although I think the dark color in the Jaclyn Hill palette was actually a blush and not a bronzer. But anyway, let's go ahead and use the brand new Beach Nectar color as highlight. I do think this will probably be a little bit too dark for me, but we will see. Well, there is a definite sheen, that is for sure. It is definitely very highlighty, which I like. And I think it's nice if you brush it right across sort of that top portion of the blush and then blend it in, because I think by itself, I think it is a little bit too warm, a little bit too deep in color for me. But it is pretty as sort of a top of the blush blush topper, if that makes sense. Am I speaking English? Put some down my nose. I really like this highlighter, I have to say. I think if you have a similar skin tone to me, I think this would work for you. I was very, very worried that all of this would just be too dark or too warm or a little bit off for me, but I think it actually works. I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. All right, well, I didn't leave much room to try out the rose gold highlighter. I have it in the poured version, like the cream compact version, and I kind of use that as a blush because that's how sort of dark it is. It looks a little bit cooler in this powder version. So let me see, you know what? I'm going to use my highlighter brush again and then just dip into there and use it at my brow bone just to see what the color is like. It's also very pretty. It's definitely less, it has less of like a golden kind of shimmer undertone. It's a little bit cooler in tone. So I like that too. I think I do prefer the Beach Nectar for my skin tone though, because it's a little bit, I don't know, it just has a little bit more life in the color for me. It has a little bit more of that peachiness, which I think is really pretty. This could be nice over sort of a different color scheme. Wow, I really like all the products in here. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I purchased this, I was holding off, I didn't really want to get it, and kind of got, you know, suckered in like we usually do, and purchased it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I'll probably end up returning it because I won't like any of the colors or it'll be too dark for me, blah, blah, blah. But I really like it. I think I'm gonna hold on to this, and I think I'll reach for this more than the Jaclyn Hill palette, which I don't reach for at all. I like the Champagne Pop, but I don't really like any of the other colors in that palette. But this one I enjoy quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up my look here, and I'm going to come back. I'll give you some swatches of these on my arm so you can see the actual tones and colors close up. And yeah, and I'll be right back. All right, so I finished up my makeup, and I have to say that I like this palette a lot more than I thought I would. I think the colors are really flattering even for my skin tone, which I think is much lighter than Chrissy's. I don't know if her intention for this palette was for people with her skin tone or what, but it seems to work for me as well. So I think there's a little bit of genius there if it does work across a really broad range of skin tones. I think that's really hard to do. So I'm really, really happy that I got this. I find that the products also are in line with Becca's quality when you buy like the individuals, because sometimes I feel like if you buy palettes with like multiple products, that sometimes the quality is not always, you know, it's not always there. So I find that the highlighters are definitely just like the highlighters that I have from them, like the Champagne Pop, etc. in terms of like, you know, texture, pigmentation, finish, all of those things. They're all very soft, they're all very smooth. So definitely a thumbs up for me, and let me go ahead and give you some close-up swatches of all of these products. So first up is the Rose Gold highlighter. This is the highlighter that already exists in the Becca line. It's very pretty, it's a very, very pinky sort of highlighter. And here is the new Beach Nectar highlighter that is limited edition to this palette. As you can see, it is much peachier than the Rose Gold and much brighter in tone. And here is the blush, and that is in the shade Hibiscus Bloom. And then here is the bronzer, which I liked a lot, very neutral in tone. And that is called Malibu Soleil. So Rose Gold highlighter, Beach Nectar highlighter, Hibiscus Bloom blush, and Malibu Soleil bronzer. So all in all, I'm really happy that I bought this palette. If you enjoyed this first impressions demo, then please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe below if you have not already, and I will see you in my next video.